Hi, hello, and welcome back one more time to this podcast ends with you, episode 3, once again with myself, Amadeus _ and my wonderful co-hosts. I keep calling them wonderful. I should find another adjective. Hold on, guys. Let me check Google for synonyms. Amazeballs. My Amazeballs co-hosts of Asma Neku and Myra Zed. I'm not making that up. Google genuinely told me that Amazeballs is a synonym for wonderful. Go figure. On this week's episode, we have way too much New Orleans with You news to talk about. More specifically, we're going to be going in depth on the brand new Neo The World Ends With You trailer, talking about all the aspects of it, speculating, theory crafting, thinking about the future, and avoiding talking about Neku just to really frustrate Ozma Neku. It's funny, I promise. The next episode of the podcast will be recorded live on the 24th of April at 10 p.m. GMT and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So a bit of a time change, just temporarily. But for now, please enjoy episode 3 of This Podcast Ends With You. I'm saving all my love for you, chat room, beautiful people of twitch.tv. I'm saving all my love for you, all of it. All of it's in my heart. It's for you. I'm mad. I'm unhappy. I am one unhappy podcaster right now. Let me talk to you all for a second before we even get anything ready. Here's why I'm mad, guys. We had a script. We plan stuff out. This podcast is very professional. We sit there and we plan stuff out and we're like, okay, here's a nice plan of the things we're going to talk about this podcast. And then Square Enix goes, no, you will not have plans. We're going to give you a whole new plan a day before the podcast is supposed to go on. It all happened literally in the last 2 days. There has been no news for weeks. We were worried that we're not going to have enough stuff to talk about in this podcast. And then they dropped the bomb on us. And now I'm very scared. But I'm not very scared alone. I'm very scared with Ozma Neku and Myra Zed yet again. Hello, peoples.
I just saying, like, let's get past the fact that literally everything exploded yesterday. We, like you said, we had a plan. We had an idea. We thought the last podcast was going to be 45 minutes, and now we have like a 2-page script for this episode.
It's insane.
It's insane.
There's so much stuff.
Literally the scariest thing I've ever seen.
It's gonna be hard to find out where to start, but let me start by, as always, thank you to you, lovely people, for keeping this podcast nice and successful and great and happy. You guys motivate me to keep going, and thank you for all the love, especially on YouTube. A lot of you peeps are watching on YouTube and watching all that good stuff and providing art and doing all this good stuff. In fact, let's look at some good art now. Look at this. Look at this, guys. It's almost like I have stuff prepared. If you are watching this on YouTube, you'll see some of the great fan art that's already been submitted that is now showing on the screen. Thank you to all these lovely peoples. We'll be shouting them out on Twitter as the weeks go on. But yes, it's some great art. Thank you for submitting that, and thank you for all the support and all the love. It means the world to all of us and makes us even more motivated to do more great stuff for the community. So thank you.
For those of you who are listening on your podcast platform of choice, we will be featuring these fan arts on Twitter a ton. So please come and check them out. They are great to look at, and we have a ton of amazing artists currently listening to us, and it blows me away how impressive these people are.
Extremely. We don't deserve you people or your talent. We really don't. But I'll tell you what we do deserve. We deserve some good The World Ends With You news, and by golly, we got it. By golly, we got it.
I did not expect us to get so much out of a 3-minute trailer.
It's insane. Like, I don't even know where to start, really. There's a lot to talk about here.
Well, good thing we have a list.
It's a good thing we have a list.
A very big list, mind you, but it's a list.
but a list nonetheless. Let me just, hey, wouldn't it be funny if I pressed this button and once again it shows the wrong screen? Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Wouldn't that be great?
No,
for those of you,
there we go.
For those of you who are not aware just yet, the the next trailer for Neo dropped. After we said last week we weren't going to talk about Neo until another trailer dropped, and it had so much in it that we redid our entire script, as we've said like 4 or 5 times now. So we're all in a very interesting state of mind where there's so much to talk about and not enough time in the day.
Nope, there's absolutely not enough time in the day. Yeah, but we can try. We can attempt to catch up with everything. First things first, if you somehow are living on a rock that has no Wi-Fi, you know, if you have been sleeping for the last couple of days, a new trailer dropped, and it is pretty good. I'm not gonna be really playing very much of the audio of it here, but we will be scrubbing around for the sake of our podcast listeners, because it does kind of confuse people whenever there is sort of 2 sounds or 2 audio things happening at once. But we will be talking about the trailer, obviously.
I'd say go ahead and mute it now.
I'm going ahead to mute it, and we can sort of have it. We'll have it looping in the background as we talk about it, because by golly, there's a lot to talk about.
By the way, this trailer is in English and Japanese for either listener who's currently listening. You can hear both sets of voice actors on that.
That's true. They name all the voice actors right off the bat, which is a neat thing for them to do. Let's start by talking about. There's a lot of things to talk about, so bear with us. But let's start talking about this whole team thing that they seem to have going on, because it looks like there's some sort of team system happening here. Like obviously we have like here the Runebringers, the Wicked Twisters, I believe is what our boys
the main
are
team
called.
Yeah.
And then there's these 3 people who like have a team each. Like
they're independents, I guess.
Or they have like a team of just like NPCs or just people who we don't know about yet. Or they haven't been shown them yet. Maybe they do have full designs. We don't know that yet. What we do know for sure is that there will definitely be fighting between these teams. The reason for that being, first of all, in the first trailer, we saw a fight between someone who I believe was a noise version of Big Man over there in the Runebringers team, and Wicked Twisters. As well as this right here, like there is obviously in the gameplay that they showed the team fighting other players. So it seems like there's definitely going to be this game is going to be quite different. I say game in terms of the Reapers game. This Reapers game is going to be quite different in terms of the rules and who's the enemy. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that.
It's really interesting how we went from the first game being about all of the players working together to try to get through the game and just survive. Whoever gets the most points gets out. To, hey, I want everyone to murder each other now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, things have definitely, just if we're going off of just where things are probably going to be, it's all screwed up. This is definitely not a normal game.
No.
Yeah.
It's also super interesting how a lot of the teams seem to either really hate each other, like Wicked Twisters and Ruinbringers. The big man from Ruinbringers, I thought he was just the GM. I thought he was week 1 GM. No, apparently he's some kind of player in the game. And I'm sitting here going, what? How is a player turning into a noise?
Oh, yeah, you make a good point there.
I don't know. Only time will tell. There's a lot of...
yeah, it's really weird, especially since this girl, freaking Tsugumi's on his team.
I think they're both from Shinjuku. I think with that's what the implication is, because she walked from Shinjuku to Shibuya.
Like, that is the most interesting team to me right now, because, oh my god, what have I done? It's fine. See? All cool.
Absolutely perfect. Absolutely fine.
So, here's what's interesting to me over here. So, let's look at Team Ruinbringers here, right? These guys were touted as... In a later part of the trailer, they were touted as, it was like, they were giving a mission mail along the lines of, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And, like, if you go after them, you get more points. So, and then they say they're going after Runebringers. So, obviously, these guys are going to be a big threat at some point, and sort of, they are then gonna fight the Runebringers, which might be the point in which the big thing that happens later happens, which we'll talk about later. But we're kind of aware that we don't have information yet. This is all speculation. This is all theory crafting right now. But it's fun. I enjoy theory crafting. I enjoy like sort of embracing conversation and thinking about what could be and what couldn't be, as long as we're not too abrasive about it.
Thinking about what could be and couldn't be. Why does everyone look so hot now?
Let's talk
For
about that real
real.
quick. I want to talk about why everybody. Tell me why Uzuki looks amazing. Can somebody please explain? I want a written explanation.
Oh, you want the explanation? You put a woman in a suit and they look stellar. There's no explanation beyond that, okay?
It's the suit. It's the new haircut. Does a lot for me.
I love the new haircut the most. She looks fantastic.
You know it's the same Uzuki because she still has the nails, she still has the makeup, but my
She's
god,
still
you stick her in a suit and you go, is this the same woman that tried to murder me a few years ago?
It's so great. She looks super good. Coco also got a really, really good glow up. I like her new look a lot.
I am so confused because wasn't she like half blonde, half purple hair before?
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw someone do like an edit on her, just giving her the blonde hair again. Looks good.
I'm aware this game apparently takes place 3 years after the anime, which came from the TWEWY PR Twitter handle, and it blows my mind how much these characters look so different after 3 years. And then I think about it in real world terms, and I go, this is right.
It makes sense. It makes total sense that they look way different.
Yeah, but it is something interesting to me is that like with the Reapers especially, they are dead, but they're still aging.
No, the Reapers were never dead, I don't think. Because Reapers are able to be in the RG or the UG at will from the last game.
Yeah, there's just never the confirmation on if they age or not, but I guess they do.
That's a really good point, though. I never thought about that. I never thought if the Reapers were... Because, well, no, they'd have to be dead, right? Because to become a Reaper, you have to be in the game, and then you choose either to re-enter the game or you can become a Reaper. Because that's the option that Neku was given at the end of the first week.
Well, to be fair, Megumi was not really playing by the rules there. He didn't have the power of the composer to actually res him, so he had to give him an option.
That's a good point, actually. I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
Like, we actually don't know how Reapers are created outside of it being offered to them. We don't know if they're actually have to be alive or dead.
Yeah, but they have longer lifespan.
They do. That we can confirm because they control noise and they have superpowers.
That's true.
Speaking of which, Karya also just looks great. He has the least design change, but he looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's subtle, but it really works for him. Like, it's just basically the shorter hair. Like, the hair is the main thing. And also the different outfit. But it works for him.
Also, his comment, as the English trailer says, is I'm finally doing my job. That scares me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That means that was him not trying before. Imagine if he actually starts trying.
In the world that's with you, it is implied he has the power level of a game master. He just doesn't put effort in. And I'm like, if you're actually trying now, I am terrified of you.
It's insane. Also,
you want to talk about your boy or not?
I can't think of a single other redesign that's in the game. No, I think that's it. I think that's every single character that was in the previous game that we've talked about. There's no other character.
I need you to stop. I need you to stop.
What are you talking about? There's no other character that was in the original game that showed up in the team we haven't already talked about. So let's just move on.
I cannot let you do this in good faith.
Let's just move. You're right. You're right. I forgot about Sho. You're right. How could I forget about my boy?
I mentioned that 5 seconds ago.
Look at my boy. There he is.
Let's actually look at Sho a little closer, because the one thing that I've noticed is he doesn't have his taboo noise tattoos on his chest.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Although his body is mostly covered up because the ladies would just not be able to handle that bod. Let's be real. I can barely handle it. And I'm straight.
You right, and you're wearing the outfit.
And I'm wearing the outfit. I'm just trying to impersonate. I'm just trying to pretend like I have these abs. I don't, though. But yeah, he looks great. I like how he seems to be a lot more, not docile, but it seems like he's definitely being a little bit more reserved this time around. which is
I
interesting.
think he doesn't have a choice because he's being treated as a player right now. I don't think he has a choice.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
I
also has
can't wait to
Reaper
hear him
powers taken
complain.
from him.
I can't wait to hear him complain.
I
also
can't
love
wait
his
to hear
outfit.
Zeta's Sons of Digits again, okay?
It's so good.
Oh, so it looks like his whiskers are gone.
I think so, actually.
Well,
Also,
no,
if he
actually,
does...
if you look very closely
he-
over here, they can kind of see them in this particular image. You can kind of, if you look in his like game portrait, you can kind of see them.
The only thing I want to happen in this game from a show is I want him to do pie flare, and I want his voice actors to scream 100 digits of pie.
I want that.
That would
Yeah.
be the
really
best thing ever.
Let's talk a little bit about this is not in the notes, but this is something I just remembered I kind of want to talk about. Let's look at the Shinjuku Reapers as well a little bit because they're
This is
very
actually-
interesting.
This is a very interesting discussion point because we don't have enough information to really settle on what the hell is happening with the Shinjuku Reapers. And I know that Amma and I are going to butt heads for like the next 10 minutes about this.
So here's my I don't know if I want to talk about this now or let's go through how they look like and their designs real quick, and then we'll get into that because I have a theory regarding this stuff.
So
But-
I hate Shiba. I hate Shiba. Just in general.
Why? Why?
Damn.
Tell me why.
He fits the type of person that you love to hate. Really overconfident, acts like he runs the place. He knows how much power he has and he abuses it. He's just that kind of game master, it seems.
Overconfident and abuses his powers. What other character in the World Ends With You franchise can I think of that's like that?
I was about
There's
to
a
say
difference.
if you yeah, there's a difference. I was about to say that.
There's
a
actually
difference.
a legitimate
Compare him with Joshua.
Yeah.
We don't have enough context of Shiba to really compare him to Joshua. That Joshua actually has power.
Mhm. He's allowed to be cocky.
All right.
I ain't saying that. I'm trying to save you. You're digging your own hole.
All right. No, it's fine. It's totally okay.
But no, the way he's designed, it screams, I am more powerful than you and you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of character you look at and you go, I am going to punch you in the face. I just don't know when.
So this character is kind of interesting because this is the one character we actually have a little bit of lore about from the Japanese PlayStation blog. Basically, so Shiba came into the Shibuya Reapers game, and this is gonna play into my theory later. But Shiba joined into the Shibuya Reapers game. Do you remember when? I think he said like a couple of months, right? I can't remember how long he's been there, but he hasn't been in there very long. I think it was like a year. Maybe it was a year.
It said that he rose up the ranks or something. I can definitely. I
Yes.
think we linked it. Let me see if I can find it. Keep talking.
Yeah, but basically he came into the Reapers game. I think it was like a year, and then he rose up through the ranks, and then he became game master because we already know he becomes a game master from the first trailer. So that to me indicates that there are two separate Reapers games happening, one in Shibuya and one in Shinjuku. Especially because this is very important, and I don't know how many people have noticed this. The Shinjuku Reapers don't have wings. All of the Shibuya Reapers do. Like, look, all the Shibuya Reapers do. So, where are they? So,
yeah, and it says less than a year.
less than a year. So your rose of thanks in less than a year. So Karya has Reaper's wings. Uzuki has Reaper's wings. Coco has Reaper's wings. None of the Reapers from the Shinjuku Reapers have wings, which is
I'd like to
interesting.
remind you that Reapers can put them away at will.
But it's interesting that they.
Yeah, but why wouldn't they show them
why,
here?
yeah.
It's a very conscious design choice. You are correct, but it just also reminds me of when Sho was first introduced in the original game. He didn't have his wings, and then he busted out 6 of them.
That's true.
That's true.
So go ahead with the next character before I start theory crafting in my head again. I'm gonna have to stop myself here.
But yeah. Also, we should mention the voice actors, but maybe I'll go through those in a second.
Oh, I should have pulled up their IMDb profiles to see what else they've been in. I forgot.
Man, we should have done that. Xander Mobius, the boy, the kid. There he is. Look at him. He's voice acting Kubo. who we know nothing about, other than the fact that
He's
carries some
very
purse.
Xander Mobus is a stellar voice actor, by the way. He's in so much stuff now after his debut with Smash Ultimate.
He's in Smash. He's Joker in Persona 5. He's voiced some people, some dudes in Street Fighter. He has done a lot of voice acting. That man has many accolades. Very respected in the community. It's great to see him on this project. But other than that, I really don't have much to say about Kubo. I don't know about you guys.
His design is interesting. I hate his face in the trailer, like in the preview box in the top left. That face disturbs me a lot. He definitely seems like the type of character who's going to be, I am trying to seem smart, and I'm gonna make you hate me for it.
Yeah, that's likely. Let's see here. We have Ayano. She has an iguana. That's cool. Also,
she has a very confident outfit, is the way that I'd say it.
My only question is, what is it with Nomura and giving girls super thick lipstick? Like
it makes it stand out, I guess.
I guess, but he's done it with so many characters recently, like Gaia from 14. Hell, one of the Reaper. What's her name? I'm gonna try to have to remember these names, but Shoka later on has the exact same thing. I feel. Well, actually, no, it's not as thick with her. To be fair.
Aaron Yvette is actually in a lot of stuff, the voice actor for Ayano. She's in Fortnite, Legends of Runeterra. She's in Wasteland 3. She's in Transformers. She's in Spider-Man Miles Morales. She's in Hyrule Warriors. Like, she's in a ton of stuff. She's much more of a common voice actor.
Gotcha.
And I can't wait to see what she can do, because I've heard her range in like Tales of Borderlands and stuff like that, and she can spread her range pretty good.
Damn. All right. That's pretty cool. K is how I'm gonna try and pronounce that. Kaye. Kaye. Kaye.
Okay. We didn't hear his names. I don't quite know.
We wouldn't know. He hasn't said anything. I think he's one of the few people in the trailer that have just stayed super quiet. Also, important note: we don't know if these guys are game masters or not. We just know that they're Reapers. That's all we know about them.
We just know they're from Shinjuku and they're Reapers.
That's all we know about them right now. So yeah, he has a phone. That seems pretty kooky. We have this
Josie Montana McCoy has not been in a ton of stuff, by the way. It looks like their most popular role is Kaya in Genshin Impact. And that's really their only major role. It seems like they got a lot of newer voice actors for this game.
Correct, including somebody who we'll speak about later. Because I'm gonna try and take a look at all the voice actors that they revealed here. Hishima. Again, we don't know much about these Reapers, so there's not much to say.
I actually really like how Kishima looks. His outfit is really nice. But also, why is his hand covered?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's only wearing one glove.
Like,
wait, no.
You think this is a Danganronpa tie-in? You think that's what this is?
Shush.
That's a little joke there for anybody who plays Danganronpa.
James Austin Kerr also does not have a ton of really big roles. Like, they had a role in NCIS. That's really about it. Nothing really video game centric.
Interesting. This chick who everybody kind of went nuts at when we first saw her. It has been 3 years so in the first game, so it's likely that what she's wearing was designed by Shiki.
I'm happy.
That is a likely. Yeah. That is a very likely thing.
I really like her design. I'm just confused. Like, how important is she gonna be? Because she's on the box art.
That is true,
on the box
yeah.
art. It's really interesting because just to tie into this, we have a Mr. Mew hoodie, which means Shiki got into her design life. But we also have another character that has a Mr. Mew and uses Mr. Mew like Shiki did.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that. Remind me to talk about that whenever we get to that character. Shinjuku Reapers.
Bailey
also
doesn't have a ton of roles, by the way.
Look at that JoJo pose. Look at that.
So many poses.
That's all the title cards over here. Before we get to the main boys, let's talk about these boys a little bit. We have Tsukichi. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly.
Suzukichi.
Tsukichi. I'm just realizing, actually, you see that emblem on his t-shirt? Are those tattoo marks? Hold up. Is that taboo noise marks on his arm?
I think that's a taboo noise mark.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Huh.
Because when Sho went full Reaper and came back during week 3, he came back with taboo noise marks, like tattoos.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It reminds me back at the first trailer where we fight a giant elephant man with a taboo noise arm. It's the reason why I think it's him.
Is this the same? Does that? No, never mind. That's not an elephant. That it might be, but I doubt this is what that is. I'm looking at the pin that Rindo holds in his hand at the beginning of the trailer. It doesn't look like it's the same.
No, same, very different.
Yeah,
design.
no, it's
Speaking of which, I think that's the Shinjuku player pin.
That might be a good point.
Yeah,
that could be correct. Actually, that could be a possibility.
Because
Again, very important.
know...
Before the podcast gets any further, this is all theory crafting right now. There's nothing that is confirmed.
I wish it was. But we know how meticulous Joshua is when it comes to pins and stuff like that, because he goes to Mr. H for it.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, hey, I need this, and Mr. H makes it. That doesn't seem like a cat design. It seems way too outlandish.
Yes. Moving right along. Also, I believe. Sorry, before we move on from Susie K over here. I believe. I mean, that's who they're referring to when they say that later.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
I believe this is the boss that we see in the first trailer. I think so.
Yeah.
I can't remember why I think that, but I feel like this is the boss that we've seen in the first trailer.
I think it's because I mentioned it 15 seconds ago.
Or that, yeah, that could be part of it. Now, this individual lady, I haven't forgotten what you've done to us.
Hype-chan.
Hype-chan.
For 7 years, we have been teased about this character.
God damn it.
7 years.
We're just doing the Pokemon trailer.
Name.
You remember the Pokemon meme where it's just holding the favorite
It's
Pokemon.
been 3,000 years.
That's what we feel about this lady. Also, something I'm gonna point out real quick, and I don't know if people have realized this is a thing. Look at that! Look at that frame. That is her controlling Mr. Mew. What character can I think of that had the powers to control Mr. Mew? Questions for your mind.
It makes me so confused and so concerned because we know Shiki had an influence on the world. So is this just like a branded Mr. Mew, or is this the actual Mr. Mew? Which means we should probably know who this character is.
What if it's Shiki's
But like,
Go ahead.
Shush!
What if it's Shiki's nobody? Hear me out.
No, just shush! Don't you dare. But I find it like she seems way more important than Shoka, but yet Shoka's on the box art. Why? I don't know.
Yeah,
we don't have enough information. We will continue to say this until we have the game in our hands. We do not have enough information to make a good guess at this, and I hate it.
Also, Kira Riley Wilson is the voice of Tsugumi, and Shinjuku is Max Udall or Udell.
I am checking Kara Riley Wilson right now. Keep Max Udell pulled up for me. Oh, wow. Kara Riley Wilson is actually a full-fledged voice actor with a number of roles.
Oh, damn. Let's go.
Let's see. She was also apparently in the Kim Possible movie as a live-action actor. That would probably help a little bit for people who might
know. Let's go.
Next would be Fuya?
Fuya, who is voiced by Adam Gold. These are players. They're apparently in their own teams. We don't know if they're the only members of those teams, or they have NPCs with them, or they have fully designed characters with them. We don't know that yet. We just know that they each have their own team. So Fuya over here, we have who I imagine a lot of people will be waifuing up. I imagine we'll be seeing a lot of fan art of this character.
Until we find out she's 16.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Also, Max Udell did not have a ton of roles. This seems like to be his first major role.
Gotcha.
Adam Michael Gold has a ton of stuff, but nothing really relevant to video games either.
Gotcha. We have Canon, who's voiced by Zenthe Hoyen. I'm sorry for anybody if these voice actors are, that would be cool. These voice actors are watching this. If you are, hit me up. If you are watching this and you're if you are watching this and you are part of this. Who?
So I actually recognize that voice actor. She is in a ton of anime. Like she's in Madoka Magica, she was in Anohana, she's in K-On!, she's in Sword Art Online. She is a very popular anime voice actor.
Huh.
Right. Huh. But yes, very important. If any voice actor of these voice actors are actually watching, I'm flattered. Please contact me. That would be great.
Please ping the Negu for Smash Twitter, please.
Please. Yeah, I'd lose it. I would lose it live on the internet. Which has never happened before. Whenever I'm on stream, I'm fully composed. Trust me on this one.
Right.
Oh God. Yeah. And then we have Motoi, who speaks French, I think. Yeah, no, that's French.
Introduce moi.
Nick Thurston.
Not a ton of video game roles, but they were an American Dad. So closest thing I can find that's even relevant.
And then let's talk, of course, about the main boys. Paul Castro as Rindo. Look at my sleepy boy. There he is.
He is so sleepy, and I still cannot believe that we're going to put a mask on him before everything happened.
Yeah. It's kind of cool that, particularly when we go to Fred here, it's super cool, to have a protagonist that's a bit more lighthearted. He definitely seems more lighthearted than Neku.
Yeah.
A lot more laid back and a little less methodical, I guess would be the way to phrase it. Like Neku was super methodical. Like he thought way too much sometimes. The fact that he knew the first 20 digits of pi told you how smart he was.
Yeah.
Rindo is definitely more of a laid back character.
Yes. And also something that's kind of unique about Rindo is that he seems to know Fret before going into the game, which is super interesting.
I'm very, very curious about how that works. Because that either tells us that they died at the same time or something fucky is going on with this game.
Oh, I've seen so many theories about it.
Like what?
Also, Paul Castro Jr. hasn't had a lot of game roles.
I think the biggest theory that I'm behind is that they aren't dead. They picked up, because like in one of the frames that we can see, I think Rindo was saying to Fret, like, you picked up these weird pins and everything's changed since then and a bunch of weird stuff has been happening. And then it looks like they, I think Shoko was like, I saw you use Sykes, I need to sign you guys up now.
You're right, that is in this trailer.
That's interesting, actually, yeah. Huh.
So that theory now has some ground. Also, Griffin Burns, who plays Fret, has a ton of animated roles like Attack on Titan, Agretsuko. I am not reading that Japanese title. They were actually in Final Fantasy VII Remake as well.
Ah, look at that. And then, of course, the newest member of the World Ends With You community, Marinda Parkin, who was super nice to you on Twitter. Super nice to see her on Twitter and just being interacting with community. It was super good.
Yeah, she dove in and we adopted her.
That you can't take her from us now. She's ours now.
No, she's stuck. She's never leaving. She's stuck.
No, that's it. That's it. GG's. You can voice act in anything else now. Deal with it.
No, you've chosen your side. You're stuck with us.
That's it. Voicing Nagi. Now, Nagi is shaping up to be possibly one of my favorite characters in this entire game. Like, I'm gonna be real with you.
She's adorable.
Particularly when she does this face. Let me see if I can get it. Look at that. I love that face. That is great.
It's
also if me and Neku dare bring up Persona 5 for a second. We are kind of getting Neku, you tell me you're kind of getting Futaba vibes here.
You cannot tell me that someone who is obsessed with video games has a meme face and literally curses someone just by thinking about it does not remind you of Futaba.
A little bit, but also she seems a lot more extroverted than Futaba.
She's much more extroverted. That's the really big quality that sets her apart. But we first saw her, and my immediate thought was, why is Futaba dead?
Yeah. That's true.
That is literally where my brain went.
Correct.
But no, I think she's an absolutely stellar character. She's shaping up to be very much like either comedic relief or the emotional backbone of the team, and I'm really excited to see how that goes.
Let's see. She apparently also has psychic brain powers? Question mark.
Where's that part of the trailer?
Yeah, apparently she does something that gives Rendo a bit of a headache. Maybe she told him the lore behind Guilty Gear or something.
No, he was insulting her game nerdiness, and she got mad.
Maybe.
Yeah, if you watch the trailer around 2 minutes and 15 seconds, she like screams wrath, and it gives Rendo a major headache. Yeah, and it's just like, oh, that's a problem.
Also, speaking of cursed takes, apparently Rendo is also Shulk? Question mark. Because of this change the fate, I look into the future thing that they're trying to tease.
I do not know what you're talking about. I honestly don't. Like, is this something that happened on Twitter?
No, it's just look, it's he sees the future and it says change our fate. Like, I don't know, this gives me very Xenoblade vibes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
The one thing that I will definitely point out that's going to be different is it seems like in this game, if something happens, you can go back and do it again. Mm-hmm. You're able to like restart the day, like you're reloading a save file.
Maybe
that's a very interesting. Like, if it's how that's going to work with the story, if like you have to get it right.
Replay the days to eventually change the future.
That's a good point.
It's going to be a very interesting game mechanic because it reminds me of when you beat the main game of the original game. It allows you to go back and replay the days to complete the secret reports.
Yes.
Is this going to be a similar aspect to it, but we can actually control what's happening?
I have no idea.
Like, is there going to be a good end and a bad end? That's my concern right now.
Oh, that would be interesting, actually. That'd be real interesting. And yeah, I think with that, we've covered every single character in the trailer. No other character appeared in this trailer.
You cannot deny me, my boy. You get right on that frame.
Thanks for coming, everybody. That's the end of the...
Jesus Christ.
It's never happened. All right. What else do we got to talk about in this trailer? Let's see. Talk about that. Dude, this game looks ridiculous. Like, just visually, the game looks stupid good.
It does.
These portraits are goddamn great. The whole art style of like sort of paintbrushes and strokes are great. I love this whole like chat interface of them like interacting together here in the manga style, and particularly this frame of
the art direction is stellar.
It's like especially this frame. Where's the frame I love? Show it to me. I love this frame.
Oh, this frame gets me
every time. This is such a good frame.
So good, yeah.
This tells me that the director has a solid vision of what he wants, and the artists are able to produce it, and it makes me so happy. Like, say what you want. Nomura being the main artist again has brought this game to life, and I will fight people on this.
That's true. Also, as well as the visual. Oh yeah, we should also talk about the 3D visuals because there's the 3D visuals that we were seeing here, which look pretty good. I like it. I like the style. Like there's kind of 3 visuals, right? Because there's these like sort of 2D sort of drawn sprites and stuff where they talk. There's the overworld sort of models, and then there's sort of 3D cutscene models as well that are shown in this scene, and in this scene in the end that I've never seen before. So there seems to be a couple of different like visual styles that they're showing in this game, and they all look pretty good.
It's definitely impressive, and the one question I have is, for big emotional moments, is it all going to be 3D? Because when we played the original game, really big emotional moments were kind of like manga panels moving together, and I really liked that.
Yeah. That was super cool.
What do you think about it?
Just like the graphics in general and how like I it's just good. You guys basically covered it, and I'm just blown away with how well they're doing it. I was when there's like all the theories about before even anything was announced with the new game. People were like, "Oh, if it gets onto a console, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. It should just stay on Switch." And I was like, I mean, it's gonna be weird with 3D models, but I think that they look fantastic, and I think that they nailed it in how they're doing the voice acting, and it's just it reminds me of Danganronpa and how they have the sprites and how they voice act as well. But I think that they're doing it really well, just keeping it true to the game. But
yeah,
they're not. Yeah, because like,
again,
I don't think it's fully voice acted.
I think a lot of the
like,
major moments are.
Yeah.
So it's
also, I have to
like,
talk about. I have to talk about this because it actually reminds me of certain things. When people say stylized art looks bad in the future, I end up arguing with them about it. Because if you stylize something correctly, it becomes timeless. Jet Set Radio is a great example of that. No Straight Roads is going to be a great example of that. Games that are hyper stylized and don't aim for realism, they just aim to look good and to work well, will always be something you can go back and play because it won't be so jarring.
True. 100% true. I agree. That's because it's why, like, I know this game got a remaster and looks even better, but Wind Waker still looks great to play today. Games like that still looks super.
It reminds me of people saying The Last of Us is the best looking game of our generation. I'm like, no. There are some really stylized game out there that blow that game out the water.
Yeah, I agree. So no, I think I actually prefer stylized stuff because, as you said, I feel like it ages way better than unstylized stuff, and I really love the style that they're going for here. So it helps a lot. Going on from that, we should talk about gameplay. I have a lot of things to say about this gameplay.
Before you do that, hey Ahmed.
Hi.
Are you ready?
Watch yourself. Yeah.
The flashback moment when you get the get ready sign and you hear "Are you ready?" from the original game. I felt chills go up my spine.
Me too.
I will actually play that. Hold on. I'll actually play that part like audibly on stream because it gave me chills too. Let me just
Endeavor.
That? Just that.
Yeah.
Like when we heard that, I almost lost it. Like it was oh man, it was so good.
I was like, it's real.
It's one of those things where it tells you the original team is still here. They're using some of the older assets that still work super well and just making them a little bit cleaner.
Yes.
Yes.
So good. I love it so much.
But since we're here, we can talk about it. So yes, the gameplay is oh, you know what? Before we go touch on the gameplay, they did show the pin and sort of the accessory interface very briefly. Let me mute that. They showed the pin and accessory interface very briefly, which tells us a couple of things. It tells us that abilities back, bravery points are back, but they seem to be called style now. So you have to have a certain stat in style in order to equip certain equipment.
It's easier to understand. Bravery points back then, it was like, how brave are you to wear this outfit? Just call it style. Do you have enough drip to wear this? Like, just call it what it is.
Yeah.
It definitely made sense though in the previous game where it's like, how brave are you to wear this goddamn full Santa costume just around the place? Like that made sense to me. I thought it was pretty funny.
Also, everyone has been ripping out the maid outfit and just putting Rendo in it. I have been seeing it all over Twitter, all over Discord, and I'm sitting here going, this is the funniest thing that could have happened today.
Yeah.
It's always the maid outfits.
Yeah. God damn.
You can't just put a maid outfit in the trailer and not expect people to abuse it, okay? You cannot ignore that fact.
No. There's a lot of new brands, by the way. There seems to be a lot of new brands that they've introduced in this game. Like there's already, like you can see Gara is a thing here. There's a bunch of other brands that they showed as well. Interestingly, this game seems to be suggesting a lot of things for you. So this is, I guess, for the more novice RPG players that sort of don't want to mess around with equipment and pins and stuff and what to pick. There seems to be the interface seems to be doing a pretty good job of recommending stuff for you to put on, which is interesting.
In general, it's a really clean interface as well.
Mhm.
Everything, you can see everything has where it needs to go. It makes sense. It's really easy to pick up. That suggestion thing I actually really like, because thinking back to when we were playing the game on the DS, I remember as a kid always being frustrated at trying to like min-max my build and not knowing what stats would change if I changed the piece of equipment. So I had to start writing the numbers down.
Oh.
Yeah. Another cool thing here is that it seems like... Sorry, did I cut you off there, Neku? My bad. Did I not cut
No,
you
you're
off? I was going to say that it's cool that it seems like the abilities, while they are locked away, they don't seem to be hidden anymore. It seems to at least tell you what the ability is.
Yeah, I
Now,
like
you may
that. I
not
didn't
know what
notice
it
that.
does.
Yeah, it tells you what the ability is, but not what it does, and it tells you that it's locked, like down here. Like Stalwart Ally, for example.
You want to know what my favorite things from the first game was? I was really scared they weren't going to bring back.
What?
However much you buy from a shop determines how much the shopkeep likes you, because there's little bits of great writing when you level up a shopkeep and they start giving you abilities that I was really worried that wasn't going to be in this game. It's those little touches I really like.
Yeah, those were great.
Well, we don't know if those conversations are going to come back, or if they are actually shopkeeps. We don't even know that.
I guess that's
You are
true,
correct.
yeah.
But seeing the ability locked behind something tells me that there's going to be someone we probably have to talk to unlock it.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly, yeah. Oh yeah, so I really like the look of this interface. Everything about this UI is screaming me and what I love, so I'm very okay with it.
It's very clean.
It's very, very nice to see that the UI developers know how to put style into something without making it overbearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now we talk about gameplay. So there's a couple things that we now know about gameplay. First of all, every person gets a pin, which means that at any given moment you have 4 pins. This sounds like a little bit of a downgrade, but again, this is one trailer. We don't know yet. It's hazy in my brain, but I think there's a character that showed up later on, and I think that character had the ability to use more than 1 pin, and he was named a wizard because of it. And maybe if he's playable, maybe that'll change. I don't know. I can't. The name escapes me at the moment, though.
I am being tortured in my own room right now. Someone help me.
So, there's a possibility that things will change. However, so how it seems to work is that if you kind of pay a little bit of attention here and how sort of in what we see here, here's the high-tech, high-definition, never been seen before, Amadeus _ slow-mo technology brought to you by Subway.
For those of you watching on our podcast channels, he's currently using the playback speed option on YouTube and slowing down the trailer.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is high-tech feature that no one's ever used before. It's just me.
So based on what we're actually seeing here, I have a couple of comments. One of them is there is a sync rate, then they're calling it groove.
Yeah. So, okay, you know what? Because this actually plays into what I was about to say here, Neku, if you just give me a second. So over here, right? You see that the camera was most likely centered on Nago, right?
Nagi.
Nagi, shit. Well, I'm out of here. See you guys later. Thank you guys for checking into the podcast. We'll see you guys later. No.
Oh, no.
So, the camera's most likely centered on Nagi, and then as we progress here, using the frame-by-frame Amadeus technology brought to you by McDonald's. That's right, I got 2 sponsors for this technology. Deal with it. We see that the camera then shifts to center on Fret instead, right? When he uses his pin. And then we see the little circle on the enemy saying drop the beat. And then when the attack hits, I believe we'll see here. So, okay, you see that? You see Nagi teleporting there? I want you to look at the bar at the bottom and see which pin is being activated there. Because I believe it's Yeah, so it'll be it's the flame pin there. So it's the classic, flame pin that you get in the first game. It gets activated. Nagi teleports beside where Fred is and then fires it, and then we get sick. On the
and the
counter.
groove rate goes up.
Yeah.
And the groove rate goes up. So it seems to be like an interesting hybrid system between, well, not a hybrid system. This seems to be completely new actually. But it seems like whenever if you combo attacks together, that's how you increase your groove.
So this is sort of the evolution of the original game where a certain wizard could use 6 pins, but every time he landed a hit, the puck would pass to his partner, and the partner would have to pass the puck back by hitting something.
Oh, you heard about him too? Huh.
Yeah, of course
Jesus
I've heard about
Christ.
him. Just
Oh, okay.
it seems the groove rate is the puck pass rate, but it's much more simple because all you have to do is hit someone and then call another player on your team to hit them again, and the groove rate goes up and your damage probably goes up.
I'd imagine so, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, sync attacks may be back. I feel like this would play into sync attacks as well. Oh, sorry,
That ties
not
back
sync
into the
attacks.
anime. Because one of the things I noticed when we were watching episode 1 was traditional sync attacks aren't there. There's not a sync pin they're using. They just do the same movements at the same time. I assume since this game is based off the anime storyline, sync attacks is literally just you're working together in a flow and you're making groove happen.
That is true.
Yeah, but
that's a good point.
it does seem that there's still the final attacks. So because we see them in the anime at least, just in the previews.
Yeah.
Because we
that's
can
true.
see their combos.
Yes.
The fusion. That's a word I'm looking for.
Fusion attacks. Yeah. So we don't know yet, but this is pretty cool. Again, I'm slightly worried about how complex the gameplay will be, but this is Square Enix. I think they'll probably be fine. It'll probably be fine.
Based on the couple of trailers we've seen, we know there's a third dimension. There's a third dimension to this fighting. You can go up and down instead of just forward and back. And it's very telling that we still have like Jupiter the Monkey pins that knock things into the air, and people have combo actions off of that. I think we'll be fine when it comes to like pin selection and combos and understanding what's happening.
Yes. Like there you saw Rindo attacking with sort of with some looks like Jupiter the Monkey slash pin. Bam, bam. Actually, very important. Look at the pin that Rindo is using right here. That'll become important later because it has a cooldown, which will be important like in a second. So here he is. He's attacking. He's doing roundhouse slashes, all that good stuff. Also, there's a point back here where there's a separate number. Oh, let me again rewind. Again, new technology exclusive to Amadeus _. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
That's the first time we're gonna use that phrase. Really? You're gonna use it for a bit?
Don't worry about it. So over here, there's a red 15 damage sign. I think that's him parrying the first projectile. Oh no, that's him taking damage. Never mind, my bad.
I think it's just him taking damage.
Yeah.
That's him taking damage. No, I'm entirely a goddamn fraud. Don't worry about it. This is, I'm gonna lose my sponsorship.
Fraud.
Great bit.
Look, I'm not gonna be the bullied one in this episode. All right.
I'm already being bullied. You're hiding my boy from me.
Not today. All right, roundhouse slash. All right, that's all good, Rindo. And then,
but yeah, when
right.
you get past the scene and he's punching the T-Rex, he's in the air, which tells us either there's a jump mechanic or there's a way to get into the air with pins.
Not just that.
I think.
Not just that. Look at the pin that he's using. It's a different pin. It seems to be using the same slashes, but it doesn't have a cooldown. It's really interesting.
Oh.
This pin does not have a cooldown. It seems to be a different color, to be fair, but it seems to be still like him slashing stuff up.
You're right, actually.
It's probably an upgrade then.
It does seem to do a little bit less damage, so maybe it's a thing where the higher damage slash. And there's another one. Or actually, is this the same one? Maybe this is the same one. Hold up.
No,
it's not. It's different.
No, different.
Now it could be a thing of maybe some of these do a little bit less damage, but don't have a cooldown, whereas the higher damage ones have a cooldown. That might be a thing, but that is to be seen. Also, again, you can see here, like again, it's just Rindo fighting here, and then he uses the second pin, and then Fred is like, "I got you, homie," and then he teleports in, and then he uses thunder. Doesn't seem to do that much damage, but it does a thing.
It still increases the groove rate, and I think that's the point of drop the beat.
Oh, wait, hold on, it did cool down. Hold on, what? Hold on. Hold the phone.
It might be like a set action where you hit the button and he just goes through the entire animation.
Maybe. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't realize that it cooled down. It does actually go into cooldown there. Yeah, look at that. The first spin does go into cooldown. Huh. Very interesting.
Yeah, it might be just a full combo action. Like it might just be like one big attack pin where you only can use it once and it just goes.
Yeah.
Maybe. So, okay. So that is interesting. And then we do thunder and lightning, and then we go back.
I'm very excited to see, really excited to see what's going to happen when like you actually you build a deck and it's around comboing things, and the first pin lands, and you just summon all other people and just beat the hell out of something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be cool to see the combinations you can do.
That was my favorite part of the original game too, just making really fun decks and just murdering things with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else can we talk about here? Of course, at the end of the trailer, we got a very important piece of information, something that we've all really been waiting to see. And that is the release date. So it says at the end of the trailer that when the game was released.
I can't take it anymore. Show them my boy.
So I don't know what you're talking about. So the game is coming out on the 27th of July, 2021, which, as my very correctly predicted, is
the TWEWY anniversary. The first game was released on July 27th.
Years on the dot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised it wasn't 13, Namora.
It's okay. They made it 13 with the announcement.
You're right, actually. You're actually right.
That's true.
Now, Ahmed.
But oh yeah,
Ahmed,
sorry, I forgot.
It's gone on for 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I forgot. It's also out on PC, which is also a big deal. Oh, they're not showing it in this trailer because it's a goddamn Sony trailer. God damn it! I got.
Now move on to our boy.
Again, okay.
So, Neo: The War That's With You will be coming out on Epic Games Store this summer.
Yes, I got mad about it in my reaction video. It's mostly a bit, but also I don't love Epic Games Store. However, I will say if it's thanks to them that this game got on PC in the first place, I am thankful. I will say that. But I do have my slight gripes with Epic Games Store and just their ethics in general. What do you think, Neku?
When it comes to Epic Games Store, I have issues with Epic as a company and how they're running things. Like, they have Fortnite, which is a massive cash cow, and they decided that wasn't enough money, and they decided to start causing drama, which I won't get into with Apple. The fact that Square Enix is working with Epic Games Store for the Kingdom Hearts series and for the Neo: The War That's With You tells me this is either an exclusivity license or it's a lower licensing rate than Steam would get. And possibly. I really hope it's not the former.
So there's a couple things to say about that, right? Because, well, first of all, Kingdom Hearts is already on the Epic Games Store, so I'm sure that's part of it. Second of all, there's certain games that are on Epic Games Store that have only timed exclusivity. Like some of these, Kingdom Hearts might make it on something like Steam later. Maybe, we just don't know that yet.
Yeah, because they're not going to tell us if there's an exclusivity license involved.
Yeah. However, this does mean one big thing, which is that we're going to get The World Ends With You mods, baby. Fan content.
I cannot wait. I genuinely can't wait.
I just want someone to make a clothing mod where we can wear all the clothes in the game.
That would be a lot of work.
I know, but I want it.
Just say you want Rindo in the maid's outfit. Just say you want Rindo in the maid's outfit. It's fine. It's okay. It's all good.
No, what she wants is Joshua's threads.
Jesus Christ.
All right. No, that's true.
Speaking of which, if you pre-order on the PlayStation Store and the Switch Store, you actually get Neku's original outfit as a pre-order bonus that gives you early game buffs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know who that is, but that sounds cool. So moving on here, let's. Oh yeah, Neku shows up in the trailer. So anyway, moving on
Son
from the
of a-
trailer.
Oh my god.
Moving on from the trailer. What else can we talk about? We can talk about the
no.
No, you are not
No.
taking this from me. Pull him back on the screen.
No? Is everything okay,
Yes.
guys? Did I make a mistake?
Yes.
I wish I had sound effects so I could make a gun sound.
Just give me my
Get
boy.
him back.
It's okay, all right. Okay, let me pull the. I feel like I've really hurt these people's feelings.
You have.
So.
Okay, so in episode 2, the only thing I wanted was for my boy to finally show up again, and the shows up, and he's fucking blonde.
Who's your boy?
Freaking blonde.
Who's your boy again?
Do I really need to spell this out for you right now?
Okay. Okay, all right, it's fine. All right, so if I hopefully a lot of you have seen my reaction on Twitter, but I kind of lost it. We saw the Japanese trailer first. My correctly heard them say Neku in Japanese, and I was like, oh, don't fucking assume. But then it turned out that actually did say Neku. It's just he's blonde now, I think. You know what, Neku? Since you've been so patient and you have been surviving my suffering for the last half an hour of skirting around this topic, please tell me how you feel.
So, I have very many mixed feelings right now. We are aware this game takes place 3 years after the original game, obviously. I have many assumptions, but the fact that he is here, he is helping the Wicked Twisters, and Hype-chan seems to be willing to kill him on sight, scares me. That tells me he's still involved in the game. I want to know how. I want my boy to be safe and okay.
So there's a lot to talk about here. First of all, and I think this is the first important thing we should talk about. Neku is hella older.
Mhm.
He's 3 years older.
He's 18 now.
Yeah,
He's
an
a big baby
adult.
boy.
He's older. So his appearance being different makes sense.
Mhm.
The color change of his hair, not as much. There's a lot that can be said there. Like I don't know, maybe he re-dyed it, maybe he bleached it. Maybe there's like a couple.
Maybe
of
it's just
explanations.
fading. I don't know.
Maybe it's
We
fading.
really don't know. We don't know why his hair changed, but we know that it's changed because in the key art for the game, his hair is now blonde.
Yes.
Mhm.
And it's like it's definitely him. Like it's not there's no two ways about it. That is definitely
Yeah, I mean,
Neku.
Rindo in the trailer it says Neku-san. So
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely him.
There is but yeah, him showing up. He has the face mask on, which is interesting. He has the same face mask as Rindo.
Mhm.
Which is
I wonder what the deal is with
interesting.
that. Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's him just trying to hide his face because
Yeah.
in this trailer, both Fret and Rendo name drop him like he's important, so he might be trying to hide.
You know what?
Possibly.
Yeah. Hell, Pop-Boy's been on the run for like 3 years.
I would be if your boy has been torturing mine, I am gonna be so pissed.
Leave him out of it. I think that Joshua is a little tied up right now. He's probably arrested.
I mean, I'm
I
also
don't know.
mad. I just realized that Show is not in this scene, even though the rest of his team is. So that's I
Yeah,
just realized
yeah.
that now. So I don't know what that's about.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I was gonna mention that.
But yes, there's also something else I want to bring up here. So he comes up all stoic like. These little threads on his feet. I think that's him using some sort of psych or some sort of pin. I
It
can't
seems like a
recall.
pin.
Yes. But that is a thing.
Mhm.
Moral of the
Uh-huh.
story is that holy crap, they got me excited. Like I'm so goddamn excited now. I really want to know more about what the hell is going on here.
All you need to do was put Neku in the trailer and tell me that he's still involved with the game, and I am screaming about it for months.
Yeah.
0 to 10, not enough Joshua.
Of course you put a target on your back. Of course you put a target on your back. This is your fault.
Well, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here first.
Bye.
But yes, I think now we've actually covered everything we need to cover about the trailer.
Thank God, I've been tortured for half an hour.
So yeah, overall, excellent trailer. It gave us a lot of info without showing us too much info. It teased us. It made us cry. It made us laugh. It was
They
a
also
really good
released a
trailer.
bunch of merch.
Yes, let's talk about that. Well, before we talk about the merch, I want to show the box art. Let me just.
Which is also stellar. Which also shows the fact that Neku is blind, which I'm going to be so confused about for months.
So if you look here very closely, Neku he's doing the he's doing the. I'm trying to think of where he does this pose.
It's the headphone
This is a
grab.
lot.
Yeah, he does it a lot. He does. He technically does it in the front cover of TWEWY. He technically has the whole cover, like putting his hands over a headphone thing.
If you want the exact moment where he does it in this exact pose, it's the first time we see him during the opening cutscene of the original game, where he's trying to block out all the noise of real life.
Right.
And it's also when he takes off his headphones in the secret ending.
Yeah, that's true.
So the fact that he's grabbing his headphones right now, trying to block out noise, really concerns me.
But
yeah.
but does he have headphones? Because I mean, we can't really tell. He could just be covering his ears.
It's the same problem, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. The selection of people that they put on this cover art is interesting, right? Because okay, like Team Wicked Wizard, that kind of makes sense. Except like I love I love shows like yay
Big old shit-eating grin.
It's so doofy looking. It's like yay. He's goddamn. Oh, he's such a troll. I love him.
Of course, he never got rid of his megaphone. Just so you're aware.
Yeah, no, he still has. Of course, he still has it. Everybody having their super stoic look. Mew hoodie lady seems like she's pouting for some reason. So does Nico actually.
Tired.
Nico.
Why can't you say these names?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you mean Rindo?
No, Niku. Niki?
God.
No. Nagi. There. God damn it. Who
I was
let me
about to
run?
say, are you trying to torture me with Neku's name again, or are you purposely making a bit? I'm about to scream.
Who
I
let me
hope
have a
her
podcast?
VA's not here.
Who let you have a mic, sir?
It's fine. It's fine, you guys. It's okay. I'm trying my darndest. I promise. But yes, Black Hood. That's interesting, actually. He's wearing a black hood, just like Sho is wearing a black hood. Is everybody from the first game just have it? No, I don't know. That's
You're giving Joshua, the composer, too much credit, saying that you planned this.
Yeah, it's fine. Tetsuya Nomura has never used a black hood in his games ever. Never. He's never used it ever. Nope. So yeah, super cool cover art. I would like to address something though. I have seen so many people point at this colorful sky and say, "It's Kingdom Hearts 3. Look, it's Kingdom Hearts." Look. Let me level with you. Let's not. Let's not. I really don't know. I know the Kingdom Hearts 3 thing and why people are saying it. I'm not going to spoil it for those who don't know. Please don't spoil it in chat. But let's just wait. It'll probably tie in some way. But this right here and saying that these colors are similar and the star patterns are the same is a bit of a stretch in my eyes.
It's a huge stretch.
I don't know about you. What do you think?
Feelings. I'm gonna let Mai go first before I scream.
I mean, go ahead and scream. I mean, it's a huge read. It's just stylish and just general. It's Nomura's cover art.
I have major issues with not the fact that people who don't play The World Ends With You do not understand we are not a Kingdom Hearts spinoff. I have issues with people directly tying the two together with these little itty bitty pieces because of a couple references in Kingdom Hearts, whether it be DDD or Kingdom Hearts 3. The War Ends With You came out 5 years after Kingdom Hearts 1. Nomura worked on this game. Kingdom Hearts DDD did not come out until the 2010s. The only connection is DDD because Nomura wanted to put the Worlds with You on the map. He did not want to explicitly tie the two together, in my opinion. It infuriates me that people keep saying that the Worlds with You is a Kingdom Hearts spinoff so much, because this game has so much heart and soul behind it. And to compare it to another series that someone else has been involved in makes me angry.
It's just, it's like saying that Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 8 are spin-offs of Kingdom Hearts because they appear in Kingdom Hearts 1. It's the exact same thing. So yeah, a bit much that it's also the whole thing about the like, obviously we're not playing the entire community. It's just, it's important to note for people who are saying it. 'Cause I think it's apparently happening with Persona 5. A lot of it, to be fair, is for the memes. But
some of it is and some of it isn't. There are genuinely people that don't know, and that's what infuriates me, is people who genuinely don't know, and because of the memes, people assume it's the correct information, and that's when I get annoyed.
Yeah, let's just spread the good information around is what I say. Is let's correct some stereotypes. But also a lot of these fan bases are sort of interchangeable. Like, I feel like a lot of I've heard a lot of parallels being drawn between The Worlds with You and Persona 5 anyway. Sort of these sort of more modern life-based RPGs. So it's cool because there's a lot of sort of there can be a lot of transference between those fan bases. Like, I can easily see some Persona 5 fans being really into The Worlds with You. But yeah, it's just important to sort of correct information and make sure people are not misinformed.
I'm absolutely fine with fan bases crossing, especially when we all have like similar themes and similar ideas of how the games work. It's when you start trying to say something is a part of something else because the other thing came out first that we start running into a problem.
And with that, let's continue, as it were. I'm trying to think, have we talked about everything we could possibly talk about the game at this point? We should probably look at this blog real quick, even though it is in Japanese. But thankfully, we have amazing Japanese extraordinaire. He got several awards for his Japanese speaking. Osmaneku, of course.
God, I wish he to practice more.
That's not true. Oh, that's good. The Japanese is not appearing. Oh, wait, there it is. Okay, it's fine. Don't panic, guys.
It had to load.
There's a blog here. We read the translation of this. There's nothing super new in here that we have not yet mentioned. A lot of the stuff was already mentioned. Don't mind my scroll wheel being weird.
It's mostly just new screenshots.
Yes. That is a big one. This one, which shows that scanning is still the way, it's still in this way. I love the way they showed noise here, by the way. Look at this. This looks amazing.
Yes. Yeah.
It's super cool.
Yeah, it looks like you'll, like, if you want to get into a fight, just run over to it. And it's like, you can see where it is in proximity to you as well.
Yes. It's interesting because what this confirms to me is that I had a little worry about, if you've watched episode 1 of the anime, you'll see that scanning now works a little bit differently. I thought that they did that just so that it is consistent with what Neo's gonna do. But this looks pretty similar to what was happening in the original game. This doesn't look like what they were doing in the anime.
That's a fair point. I didn't catch that until now. Huh.
Yeah.
Because, in the anime, you have to, like, touch people. Which, I don't know how that's going to work in week 2, but yeah, like here, you just start scanning and you can see the thoughts around. You don't have to touch anyone. It just works like how it is in the original game.
Yep. Which I'm very happy about.
Yeah, me too.
The other thing is, when you look at the screenshots of the noise we just mentioned, the noise actually, they either chase you or you can select them. Like, when you look between those two screenshots that you're on right now, it literally looks like the noise is about to chase you because you're scanning.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just glad we're going to be scanning things to try to learn information about the world, because some of the funniest things in the world that you are from scanning.
That's true. I am a fool who forgot to talk about the music. Let's talk about that real quick, because I completely forgot to talk about the music. Oh my god. So, real quick, I might post it in chat actually real quick, but the Japanese The World Ends With You, Neo The World Ends With You website currently has 3 tracks that you can play. One of them is what I assume is the new Twister, and the other 2 are 2 other tracks that are in the game. They sound phenomenal. I love them. If you have not listened to them already, I'm not gonna play them here for copyright reasons and because I really like Square Enix and I don't want them to be mad at me. So I'm not gonna play them here, but I will put the link in chat for anybody who is interested. There are also a lot of tracks that appeared in the trailer. Does any of the music in the trailer stand out to you guys?
The ending, the song that happens at the very end when the release date shows, that just made me just, like, really happy. I had it was so good. Okay, the music in this game is so good. Yeah.
We are very good at saying everything is so good. I completely agree with
people around here. Yeah.
When it comes to the ending theme, it's probably my favorite part of the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Like, the one thing I noticed is that there definitely needs to be a little bit of a shift in the musical taste, because instead of like a bunch of pop tracks, it seems to be that they're also trying to go into a bit more of a J-rock area with it. There is, like, definitely with the Twister remix, there's a lot of rock involved into that new Twister remix. There's also the 3rd song on that website is also very heavy. Well, not heavy rock, but it has rock elements in it, which is cool. I like it. It's different. It's very different from Lens With You, but I can still imagine jamming to it as I beat somebody's face in.
Oh, I was jamming to the new songs on the way to work today. It was great.
It reminds me of when Final Remix dropped and all of the remixes came out and they were so different from the original that it threw everyone for a loop for a week.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of music, I think now is a good time to talk about something that's music related, but is not related to Neo: The World Ends With You, because I feel like we've talked about it at length now. It's been an hour and a half when we talked about nothing but Neo: The World Ends With You. There's more news we need to talk about, guys.
Are you joking? I hope you're joking. Have we talked that long about Neo?
It's been an hour and 20 minutes thereabouts.
Oh my gosh.
So important news. Newsflash. Amadeus exclusive breaking news. Well, it's not breaking. It's been a couple of days. But the unlucky folk at the team of the World Ends With You animation got some very sorry news when they realized that one of the band members of Ali, the band that made Teenage City Riot, the original opening for the Ends With You anime, was arrested. Nick, was he arrested? Just before
he was arrested.
So I don't misinform.
He was straight arrested.
Arrested for money laundering. This comes to us from Nick. Can you just name the source real quick to make sure I'm not mistaken?
So, Dog Emperor created a thread in English to help translate the NHK article from Japan. It was a advance fee fraud scam where the short version is you take money from someone, you give them a check in return, but you purposely make the check bounce so they never get the money. It's very weird for someone who has a ton of money for being a rock star who has done a number of anime openings to do a scam like this. And it's even weirder because normally when this situation happens over in Japan, when things get pulled like this, when music gets pulled, videos get pulled, etc., it's normally like drug related. So the 419 advanced fraud scam is probably one of the weirdest things people have seen. The reason why this is such a bad thing is because you're literally stealing money and walking away. And it was enough for it to be a felony in Japan, which means Sony itself had to issue a public apology and pull every printed record.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yep. And that unfortunately means that song will no longer be featured on the anime.
We'll never hear the full version.
It's unfortunate because the song was super good, but I also really respect the their statement on that and them being strong on that, because that's the easiest thing for them to do would have just been to ignore it, right? Because this was literally a
That's
day.
the American way.
Yeah, literally a day before the anime came out, and that happens. Like, that is a literal disaster situation of like the day before the anime comes out and you have no OP, especially since they've already shown the first episode, and in the preview they had that song already like planted in the first episode. But now they had
to edit it on the fly.
Yeah.
For those of us who watched the original episode, we watched it with Teenage City Riot playing. If you watch the version that's on Funimation and Hulu now, it is a version of Calling now.
Yes. We say a version of Calling.
It's really just jarring is an understatement.
It was very jarring.
It's just Calling, but with a different cut. Like it's the Calling we all know and love, just cut differently.
It's really unfortunate because it's like an action scene that's happening while it's playing. So you hear Calling, and as much as I love Calling, it's not really like an action song.
It doesn't.
If they had used Twister again, it would have been better.
They should have used Twister.
Twister, Psychedelic, Long Dream, just something that was playing during a battle.
Mm-hmm.
That is true, but I honestly do have a lot of sympathy for the animation team that they had to make such a big switch on the fly. So I'm not really gonna judge them for something like that, because that's pretty huge. To talk about just real quick, in case you're wondering, hey, Ahmed, Neku, and Myra, what did you guys think of the first episode of the anime? Well, you better go back, dummy, because we already talked about that. That was episode 2 of the podcast, which you can now check out on YouTube and iTunes and Spotify and Google Podcasts. So it's
by the way,
up there.
We talked about the anime for literally an hour and a half. There's a ton to listen to about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So if you want our full, at that point we had already watched the anime. So if you want to see our opinions of the anime, we will be talking about future episodes in future podcast episodes. We're going to start dedicating a section of the podcast to discussing the anime and the new episodes and what our thoughts on them are. But for now, it's going to be where if you want to listen to our opinions on the first episode, go back and watch that.
Mm-hmm. It's towards the end, just to keep off spoilers for people that hadn't seen the advanced screening.
Yes, yeah. There's yes, that is the spoilers for the first episode are at the end. So if you haven't had a chance to watch it yet, and you want to stay unspoiled about the first episode of the anime for the time being, you can watch the first part of that podcast, and we say very explicitly when we start talking about spoilers. So spoilers happen later on in the episode, and then you can. So if you don't want to be spoiled, you can just stop halfway, and we'll tell you when to stop if you don't want to be spoiled on the first episode.
If you are not aware of where to watch the anime in the US, you can watch it on Funimation and Hulu, and it comes out an hour after the Japanese screening, so around 2 p.m. EST.
Yes.
Every Friday.
Do you want to talk about a little bit about the Blu-ray release that was announced, Neku?
Before that, I would like to mention there is a possibility of Ali still releasing Teenage City Riot if they bring a new drummer in and Sony allows them to release it, but it will not be tied to the World Ends With You at all for people who are worried about lost media.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Blu-ray news, which is really interesting, they have already announced a Blu-ray set for The World Ends With You, the animation. They have said it is 2 volumes of 6 episodes. It has been confirmed the anime is only 12 episodes long. What do we think about that?
It makes sense. I wish, just like after watching the first episode and how kind of like fast they're going, which is very jarring, of course. It makes sense that there's only going to be 12 episodes, and it's only 16 weeks from here to Neo. They could have done 14 episodes at least, but it makes sense. It's just like unfortunate that it's not 24.
Yes, I'm hardly surprised, just because it was going out at a breakneck pace. I actually thought it would be slightly less than 12 episodes based on how fast they were going, but it seems to be that they're slowing down a little bit for later on. Like I said, they're really eager to just establish everything in the first episode.
I my concerns about pacing are slowly proving to be right is the unfortunate part for me. If they
Right.
only had 12 episodes, they have to cover at least 21 days in it. That's 2 or 3 days per episode guaranteed. That is really fast pacing and is not conducive of someone who has not played the game.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's hard to get character development in there.
This is the thing, like, what this means to me is that probably this anime is a cool way of us who know what happens in the anime, sorry, what happens in the game and what the story is. It's a cool way for us to re-experience the story. But if somebody is completely new, I'll probably still recommend that they play the game in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd imagine that's still kind of the better way to experience the anime. Like some certain scenes, like the scene in day 3, which shall go unnamed, even though they do it in a decent way in the anime, I still feel like it holds a lot more impact in the way they do it in the game. So I'll still be recommending people to play the game rather than just watch the anime, or at least like watch it if you want to watch first episode of the anime and then play the game if you just want to get the premise. But I'll always recommend that people sort of play the game in some capacity. We're speaking of, real quick, apparently the game is 50% off on the Switch right now on the eStore in some areas, apparently. So you know,
I heard about that.
Just scream about it and shove it in your non-TWEWY believers' faces. So that's an important thing.
I was about to make the comment of this would be the good time to release a re-release for like the 3DS or something, and then I remember the 3DS has been discontinued, so it doesn't make sense.
Yep, that is true. So with all that being said, we're almost done. There's a couple of things we want to touch on. One of them,
talking about the, like, just kind of going off of like talking about all the episodes. There was also the episode 2 preview that we can talk about if we want to.
oh yeah, that.
Yeah, the 15-second blitz of a preview that made my head spin.
The funniest part about that is that we were sitting here an hour before we were supposed to go live, and Mai just said, "Oh yeah, there's like an episode 2 preview," and me and Neku sat in stunned silence for like 20 seconds before saying anything.
That was
Like
me when I found out about it, though, because I only found out about it like 20 minutes before I told you guys.
The worst part is we knew how long this episode was going to be because of the Neo trailer, and then you dropped that on us, and I'm like, I swear to God, if it's another 2-minute trailer, we are going to be so screwed. No, it's like 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's technically 15 seconds. I can probably show it here real quick if you just give me a second. But it's pretty short. It's just sort of glimpses at some of the stuff that you're showing. There's a couple of interesting things in there. Like, what did you guys think of that preview?
Airy. They
Right?
really just, they really were like, here's Airy, and then goes to Shiki.
Literally like a half a second of seeing Eri, and like, really? Isn't that like a really big plot point and we shouldn't be talking about it openly? But no, apparently the animation team was just like, nope, we're gonna really rip out your heart if you know what this means.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
Also, I'd like to go ahead and mention this. For those of you who watched the April 2nd event in Japanese television, where they basically did another quiz game with the voice actors, the reason why we're not talking about it is because we couldn't understand any of it.
Yeah.
And as far as we know, there wasn't really any. The only information that we got was that there was going to be the more NeoTWEWY news yesterday. That was all that was really important.
Yes. Let me just now that I have it up. I had it up the entire time. What are you talking about? Here is here's the without audio. Here's what we're talking about. So yeah, we can see here. Like, look, it's very clearly that they're teasing Ari right there. In a different costume, which is interesting because even the game didn't do that. The game just showed her in just her, the exact same attire that Shiki was wearing at the time. So it's cool that they can show her in a outfit.
It's probably just an adjustment because Japanese school life is very important. And it's probably her coming home from school.
Probably.
That's the only thing I can think of reason why I would change this scene.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's not a complaint. I think that's a fine change. But yeah, so they show that. They show, I think that's Prince. I believe that's Prince.
That's Prince, yeah. That's
Mhm.
the 104 event with Prince.
F this and F that, etc., etc.
He looks fabulous.
Spicy tuna roll.
Don't worry about it. Oh, they're also introducing that pin. Is that not a bit early?
No, the open was introduced during week 1.
Okay, yeah, never mind. You're right. Yeah. They set that up early. More action scenes, more drama, more pins, more of Shiki's gorgeous. Look at her. Look how cute she is. Just look. Just watch the anime, all right? Just look. We're not gonna. You don't need to be told this. If you're watching this podcast, you're probably already on this. I'm gonna be real with you. But yeah, watch the anime, man. Just watch it. Just trust me on this one. Trust me on this one. Watch the anime. It's pretty good. Also play the game. That's important. So with that being said, I can only think of 2 things I want to mention before we call things here. One of them is our weekly installment of We Can't Afford All This Sick Merch that you're dropping on us, Square Enix.
Please. I can't afford a proxy service. I can't order half of this stuff. Stop making more.
And then like half of the stuff that I want is all Japan exclusive.
Yep.
Look at this.
On top of that, the biggest problem I have is the fact that Japan is getting the Neo Orleans with You collector's edition with exclusive merch that they're selling over here for the same price as the collector's edition.
You know, go figure.
Why?
Why not? Why not, Neku? Look at that. You got a purse, you got a steel bookcase, you got the game. Yeah, a cassette. This cassette thing is cool, by the way. Let me see if I can get close up over here.
I actually really like it.
I like this a lot. It's like a cassette tape, and it also has
it has the player pin and a Rindo pin.
I don't know whether that's a pin or a paperweight. I don't know yet.
I think it's a pin.
We have that. We have a little Mr. Mew in which you can put all of your little tiny things such as coins or change. Yeah. There's a bag. It's quite cool. It's a neat little thing. It's also $90.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. And then pull up the Japanese one. Yeah. I can cry about the art book.
More for less money.
It's unfortunate. It's really
and
unfortunate.
And the soundtrack.
And the soundtrack. The thing is, I'm definitely getting the soundtrack. That is for sure happening. That's actually kind of why I have not pre-ordered it yet. It's because I'm trying to wait to see like if I'm gonna get a physical version or I'm just gonna buy it on PC or both. I'm probably gonna buy both. Version. Get a physical version.
I am absolutely buying physical.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
You wanted to put it on the shelf? I'll
yes.
want to put it on the shelf.
Yes.
So yes, I'm trying to look at what other merch. Oh yeah, because one of them has I know they've already confirmed on the eShop and on the PlayStation Store that if you pre-order, you do get a like in-game bonuses of like Neku's outfit as a sort of equipment you can put on and stuff. But yeah, so you know, merch. Go cry, either buy it or cry about not being able to buy it. That's pretty much the it's pretty much your options here.
You know, my life.
All our lives. With that being said, for our call things here, there is another thing we need to talk about, which is, as you know, this podcast is very heavily tied to the Neku vs. Smash Twitter account, an account that we all love. And that account very recently hit a very important milestone, which Maya will talk to us about.
Yes, in celebration of reaching our 1,000 follower milestone, we will be hosting a pin design contest. So for this, you will be designing a pin.
Woo! Yeah! Pins!
That's what we call that good shit.
Anyway, your mission will be to design a pin, include its brand, psych, spec, efficiency, lasting time, boost, reboot, and description info. So all the stuff that you have to do in that pins are in a game, and be sure to give it a name. The rules: it must be an original design, and the brand must be from the original game, but unbranded is also allowed. Your original design can be an evolved pin from the game, but just please keep it safe at work. And so it is a contest, so we'll be choosing the top 3 of each, and each of these top 3 winners will get a $20 gift card to wherever they want.
Yeah, gift cards! Woo! Gift cards! Yeah!
He's having so much fun right now.
And yeah, so the winners that we will also tell. Yeah, it'll be 2 weeks long. I'll post the details after the podcast ends, and you'll have 2 weeks to enter, and then the next podcast will feature the art and announce the winners. But of course, we'll announce them on Twitter as well. So
correct. So yes, that will be happening, and next podcast will be looking at the winners, and the judges will be me, Mai, and Osmaneku, because of course we have supreme opinions. We're never wrong.
The best opinions, you could say.
Yeah. So that'll be great. That'll be a lot of fun. Judging that will be very objective, but also I will provide you with my PayPal address if you ask for it. I'm just saying.
There's also one thing I'd like to mention tying into art.
Okay.
For those of you who like our sprites and enjoy how they move and how they look, our primary artist has actually announced that they're officially opening their commissions.
Yes, they are. Look at these. Look at these. First of all, can we just appreciate the beautiful models you see on screen? All 3 of us were made by well, I know ours different name. I'm gonna ask you to confirm what
Floral Laurels.
Flora Laurels.
You can call her Flora. It'll be easier to understand.
Cool. Flora has opened commissions. So if you want some amazing sprites like the ones we have here, she is on Twitter. She is taking commissions. Look at that. Look at that beautiful price sheet. Look at that. If that art was a person, I'd highly appreciate it. I'd put it on a pedestal. Look at that. Look at the beautiful angles, beautiful coloring, beautiful. Like, I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure Michelangelo would be pretty goddamn jealous of this. The Renaissance ain't got nothing on Floral over here. So yes, if you like our models, and maybe I went a little bit too far there, but if
no, I agree with you still.
Okay, sick. But yes, if you like our models and you want to support Floral and all the great work she does, she also does all our thumbnails, which is great. She does a lot of great work for our thumbnails, and she has great turnaround, and she's super nice, and she's super accepting of feedback and all that good stuff. She's fantastic to work with. So absolutely, please, if you need to get any art done, look for a new avatar. If you stream and you need emotes, please hit her up. She is fantastic, and she's done a lot of great work for the podcast. So yes, please do that. I think with that, we are
about to hit our limit.
We're about to hit our limit, so I think we're gonna call it there. We were gonna talk about our favorite pins. Maybe we should leave that till next week when we're talking about judging the competition as well.
Yep, you can do that.
That is not a bad call.
So let's do that. Which means that for now, I am going to be calling things here. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you are listening on Spotify, Google Podcast, iTunes, thank you for listening. If you are watching on YouTube later, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching right now in chat, thank you for all your interaction. We will be taking questions actually real quick, because I did forget about that. But before I do, you have like 2 minutes to give me questions. If you want to give questions, you better ask them now. And we're going to try and get some quick fire responses going. While I remind you, beautiful people, that our next episode of our podcast is going to be on the not on the 17th of April. That's wrong.
That is a week from now. No, the next episode is the 24th of April. The next episode is the 24th of April.
Oopsie doopsie. Let me just change that real quick. Hold up.
So the 24th of April at 5 p.m. EST and 10 p.m. GMT. If you're wondering why we're pushing it back, there are personal reasons. We're not going to dive into them, but there are personal reasons that we have to push it back a couple hours. But we will still be here. We will still be screaming. Nothing's really going to change.
Yep, it's just gonna be streamed 2 hours later than it would be otherwise. So it'll be instead of 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it'll be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully you guys can still make it around that time. I believe that time is is nicer for people in the Americas anyway. So be there or be square. That'll be the case for at least 2 weeks of the podcast, and then we might be going back to our original time. But with that, I don't see very many questions happening in the chat, so I think we're gonna call it there, actually. So, thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Thank you again to my beautiful, wonderful co-hosts, Osmaneku and Myra. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us, as always.
Yeah, this is always so much fun.
Thank you. If you wanna find out more and follow us and see what we're doing, follow This Podcast Ends With You YouTube channel, where we'll be uploading all of these podcasts. We will be uploading, I put a reaction video onto that, me and Mai's full reactions to the trailer, our like raw reactions to that trailer are up there. Also, please sure to follow the Necker for Smash Twitter to get all the announcements and all the instructions about how to join the competition. And everything else that's related to the podcast, please follow it there. And on a personal note, please be sure to follow myself, Myra, and Neku on Twitter as well at all our respective socials. We are going to be back, as mentioned, on the 24th of April at 10 p.m. GMT, 5 p.m. EST. And with that, I bid you all farewell. I'll see you both in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Everybody, have a wonderful night.
Josh, we're still the worst, though.
Every time.
Hey!